Hello, Nonprofit Connect members. I'm excited to sit down with a different nonprofit leader every month and pick their brain over a cup of coffee. I hope you'll tune in each episode to learn from these leaders, their experiences, and their challenges, how they help us highlight our sector as an important and vibrant part of our city, because together we're better. So happy to be here today with Tricia Rojo Bushnell, who is the Executive Director for the Midwest Innocence Project. So Tricia, tell us a little bit about what is the Midwest Innocence Project?
Yeah, so at MIP, we represent folks convicted of crimes they did not commit and work to bring them home and change the systems that put them there in the first place.
Wow, that's a serious job, doing serious work. How does it make you feel when a case has been won and someone is getting free?
It's a mixed bag for me, quite frankly.
It's a what?
It's a mixed bag. I'm elated and ecstatic that someone's coming home, but I'm often also really despondent about what they're coming home to. I've had instances where I've walked someone out of prison and straight into a homeless shelter. And that's when I say, when we can just really see the problems that we're looking at, everything that every nonprofit is doing is so intertwined. And we have to be working on these systems, economic systems, social systems, criminal justice systems together. Because part of the reason why I'm walking someone out into a homeless shelter is because we don't provide resources for people who have nothing, right? Because we're okay with people living in poverty. And so part of the reason then that why folks are coming out with nothing is because we have a criminal justice system that incarcerates people at too high of a rate, right? At a rate for reasons that are not even criminal behavior. So if we are not attacking those at the same time as providing services, we're never going to fix the root problem. And my hope is that one day we aren't needed, right? Like, I love having a purpose and getting up and everything, but I would love to work myself out of a job.
Right.
And I think that all nonprofits would love that or should love to do that, and we can do that if we keep our eyes on the prize. So those days when someone comes home, I think about all of those things at the same time, and it's just a hard day. I mean, ecstatic and wonderful, but also difficult when you look at the enormity of it all.
So the work that you're doing, as we mentioned, is heavy, and there are long days and there are intense days. And with all of that, there are times, especially as a leader, that things just start to swell up, right? What do you do for fun? What do you do just to let it go for an hour or two even?
Yeah, I mean, for me, physical activity is really important. I've, as an adult, always done some sort of thing. I've done different kinds of sports. I've done roller derby and Muay Thai and boxing, and right now I'm into cycling. But that's really important because, one, you can't think about something else while you're doing this thing that's all consuming of your body. I also really like to watch movies, but it is hard, right? And I'm not going to pretend it isn't. And I'm not going to pretend that there weren't 2 years of my life where I can remember the 2 days I took off. And so I talk about that because I don't want to create this fiction that somebody's figured it out, but instead that we should talk about it so that I'm not modeling my bad behaviors, that I'm saying that these were actually the wrong things to do. And so how do we make sure that you're doing the right things to do? And then I know that they'll check in on me. I mean, I'm really lucky that on our team, I can ask people and say, I think you should take some time off. And they'll do that for me too. They'll say, you've been working a lot, have you eaten? There's days where someone will just show up with lunch for me because they know I'm under deadline. And that's the thing. It's always easier to take care of someone else than ourselves. I mean, we're in the nonprofit sector. We're all doing that all the time, right? So if we can share that as a community, then I think we'll be able to have permission to take care of ourselves because it's really like someone else is doing it for us.
So tell me now about what is your advice, for others that are looking to get into this sector?
So speak up, speak out, be loud. It's going to be hard. A lot of things are hard. You're going to make a lot of people uncomfortable, but that's a good thing because none of us have ever grown from being comfortable, right? The moments that changed us and made us who we are weren't because we were super comfortable. And you can make an impact if you do it. So know that if you speak up and speak out, you'll make an impact. Know that someone will have your back because you're going to have someone else's. And that's where we're going to get there, only if we're working together. So
did you have somebody in your career that was a mentor that helped you realize that you needed to speak up, or how did you get to that point?
It's an interesting question. Somebody asked me that once before, and I was actually someone who got all of my jobs cold. So didn't know anyone at any of the organizations I went to. Nobody made these warm calls for me. And so I think that made it even more important for me to speak up, and because I'm in the room. So I have white privilege, but I'm a woman of color, and that means I'm in the room in a lot of white spaces where people don't even recognize there's a person of color in the room, and I have to say something. I have to say something for the folks in my family who are not privileged but in the skin color that I have, and I have to say something for the communities that folks are saying we're serving but without having a voice in the room. So it's just not an option. And I think if other people can take that on and know that really nothing really horrible is going to happen to you, if anything, others are going to start asking you what it's like and can I do it and how can I speak up too, that's when we'll really get somewhere.
Sweet or salty?
Both.
Both? At
Easily.
The same time?
Yes.
Reminds me of Costco where you can get that popcorn, that sweet and salty.
Yeah,
right?
like a French fry and a milkshake.
Operations or overhead? Right?
I reject the premise.
Well, you're a delight. Thank you so much for spending your time with us and sharing your insight about who you are and how you got into this sector. We couldn't be more proud to have you be a part of our community and doing the phenomenal work that's making a difference in the lives for the people that you're helping and for the community that we live and work in. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.